Ahamba yazi khona lokho kwami umsuthu lo. Akathanda ukusala endweni. Jolo ore ntate Rathwana phama morena re kopane ka wena. Remele ka maoto tlo o khale o robetse. Mohlang o kgathala maoto o tla o re khumamele ka mangwele. O re rapelle o eme o bolo tla matholo. O tlo o re bitse mahodimong dina le ding le dithabeng. La re bua le wena mofai wa dipitsa tsa baholo-holo. Wena ya kutula mphuthu ka lerato. Wena ya fepang setjhaba mpana phatloha. Wena ya ratang nnete metlae le dipalo. Ema o tie bravo. Ka jeno mo metsi a khileng teng. O kelekela dithororo. Dinoka di tletse, dimela di talafetse. Mme lefatshe kaofela le a fofela. Ela re o hlompile tlo. Ela o hlompile. A round of applause! Thank you for encouraging us, Botswana, to sing. When you know who you are, that is music in your ears. When you are aligned with who you are, with your purpose on this life. We didn't come here to build only the houses and the cars. There is a gift within us that we are born with, and that needs you to look inside yourself and to feel the spirit that you are. Thank you so much for doing that. We can never be aligned without those, because in Mkhulu, it is our soul. In Mali, it is also our soul. Thank you so much, Botswana. And more Africa, oh, you're singing. I can never describe it, but we felt it. Thank you for opening us up and saying that our people didn't die, you just journey along. And I always say, visualize yourself, see yourself when you get to the other side. What kind of a round of applause you're going to get? Because you won't have the voice, you won't have the feet, you won't have the hands. Umoya wako that will talk for you. Zizenzo zako that will talk for you. So Ga-Semenya, thank you so much for this invite. It is such a great honor, it is such a great pleasure. And now I'm going to introduce, the seed. Kabra Bobi. Ndate Bobi Rathwana. Now I'm going to introduce, this is going to be the tribute, the gratitude that the children are going to give. This is now going to be the time for the children. I skipped, sorry. This is for the friends. Ditsala, I beg your pardon for that in Petong Moy and in Olele. This is the tribute by the friends. Ditsala. This is for the time for that. While the friends are coming.
Yes, function, and this is exactly what it is. So that I don't get into trouble. But I must say that we appreciate this indigenous African knowledge that is on this continent, because there's no continent like this. The beauty about travel is that it opens up your mind to other things. You learn. But one of the things that I always had a mind of, never mind where I was at any one time, is that it's like when you're in a flight. Let's say, for example, you are coming from London and you're coming back to South Africa. I always had this thing that, flights don't always fall. Né? You rarely have an accident here in a flight. And I always said, it doesn't matter where I come from, but as long as that flight I'm in can drop anywhere on the African continent. Because when you travel the continent, you appreciate, even in that abject poverty.
Yes.
But you cannot find the humanity that you can find on this continent anywhere else.
That's true.
Yes, other continents, they build beautiful, buildings, and they do all these sorts of things. But you know how we live at Mahaying, and what's all saying, we before my mother passed away, she had this rite that she always practiced. I'll call it a rite for now. But she was a former teacher of Alex. So those old teachers, their habits died hard. Every morning, she would appear him to I would come from my house in the morning and go home. Because and when you last born, then you also benefit from there. Because whatever you will always make sure that we are fine. But that's too long a story, and that's not why. And she said, I need to come and confirm they actually met at some point after the school. But to cut a long story short, we were there from 72 to 76 into 77 because of the happenings of 76. Mkhulu came after us. And you school, you always look out for the new ones. For whatever reason. And at that time, you must remember there was the transition from the gym dress to the tunic. Yes, Mkhulu.
Yes.
From the gym dress to the tunic.
Yes.
But now, Pomerelens, you must remember that some of us also came from Alex. And for Alex, it was that community living that everybody knew, whether on the that unity. But when you got to Netherlands and so on, then when I was on it, where we stayed, then when I was on it, then when I was on 6, in zone 40, so Mkhulu comes from zone 6, we're not zone 8. And Bobby was very sly because the only thing we wanted to do was play. We don't have time to draw and so on. Bobby goes and has an affair. How do you how do you go and have a relationship? I mean, really now. Yeah? We have no time for the cherry. Yeah, we're born a cherry. But that is not the issue. Then Bobby goes and has a relationship and doesn't announce. So you must announce. Bobby keeps quiet. And then the next thing we're going to leave this. Zone 6. Bobby can decision. There is a lady in a tunic that is leading the way. And Bobby caught. And at that stage, you don't take things very seriously. Now, for instance, we live in Shaka stay in a high school. And Shaka stay out hotel ke nang class mo yona and how bone because when I'm Manchester taba Wednesday go dlaliwa bolo then something go Orlando High or in and you don't have time for your chair. Can this nice some course? But be that as it may, what I was really happy about was to see this relationship blossom. Because seriously, I didn't take Bobby seriously when he started the relationship because Bobby he'll be doing something else and so on. But my father taught me something and I actually appreciated it later. And you appreciate it after you get into it. I got married to this woman that how would you all the most understanding woman on air? Then you get married to that woman. And then after a few months or a year or two, you start wondering, what happened to that woman I fell in love with? Because Asana for Staniel, now for the timelines. But my father said to me, you must remember that it's a woman's world. And I was like, huh? I didn't understand that until I got married. And my father was married to my mom for 51 years. I mean, Hasna 95, remember here, Alex, because the marriage certificate, you can't find them anywhere. So here, go and here, go, Alex. You know what a copy. And Muruto loan shine a copy, and I go home. And I look at this thing, and my parents were married on the 25th of May, 1943. I'm like, yo, who stays with one person for so long? But in all of that, then you look at how they relate and how they appreciated each other. And you understand when your father says it's a woman's world. Because it doesn't mean that she rules over him, no. But it is because you allow her to blossom and you allow her to really get to grips with who she is. And I think Bobby did that very well with you, Mkhulu. I'm not Mkhulu. But that's what it is. And I think Mkhulu did a good job. I think we must say it in her presence before she becomes just bones. But for all the years, for everything that it turned out to be, I think it teaches us to say that if you get to a place where you meet someone that you actually get to grips with and you connect, I'm not too sure how far the calendar works towards that, but I appreciate what you guys built. I appreciate where you are. And know that when I let my home, because here I'm committing the sakala. Just give a friend a round of applause. And thank you for really telling us it is a woman's world. I love your heart. We love your heart and the brilliant heart that you have and the work that you do every day. This is the confirmation of Nsingiza. And we came from one passage, and that is a woman. And if we follow the African calendar, that is why they always praise Nsingiza, because they understand the energy of unomkhulu. Thank you so much. Now we know the praise that all right, then now we're going to have tribute by neighbors. Ga-Semenya, Nico Guy, we're waiting for you. Nico Guy, we want to hear this neighbor, Bobby. How was it? Our round of applause. Thank you, neighbor.
Program director.
Thank you.
Ke a leboga ne ke re go thuse ka bonako before ya khata ke baagisane baagisane ke ba lore ba Nna ke tlo tsa tšhono e ya gore le nna ke beelwa mebara ka moagisane ausi Mkhulu o nropile a ira bana ka ditšhupiniki a mo fa gore wena o tlo ira sone o mpilitse fela mabana re abuti o mo program bosigo ka ke tla dumela ka gobane ke moagisane sa ntlha ta ke ikitsise ke nna Silas modiri molemo o ga letladika ke nna opposite a ke ture I was in faith now gore nna le Bobby re tloisane because ga o lebela le mabitso a rona a ba tla tshwana Silas Ananias Teddy Bobby ke nna kwa number 34 ko nna kwa number 35 o bona ntho e tsare khali ntse planning ka mokgwetsi ka teng program director o le 10 minutes ngwa 10 minutes ka re ke ntse go ba discount ono ka wa bang sebaka ba re ba khisana ke tlo go na le mogisana mna go tlo buana mara fela ke re ke leboga gore ha ne ke pitla mo ke pitle 1993 and bana ka motho o ratang go berekela setso ke pitle mo ka kra go dimetse gore le go nna makwa fela ka ba go tloka re ke dimetse a re tswa mo strateng ke lebella go dimplelo go tlase go na koloi ga go next ka ja Christmas e go moraga mengwaga ka bona mebedi ba Semenya ba ke ka be ke nna le bagisane fela go simolola go nna le monate wa gore ke na lo ke tla tswang le ena ke a lekeišeneng le ena a ke bua ke se ka bua ke le mongwe ne re tsamaya mmogo le Bobby ne re ya ko di-watering hole tsotlhe tse re kgona go dira go tloga mmogo yeah ra swana and motho o ka nnete ne le motho wa lerato ne le motho wa lerato Bobby o bontsha ka mokgwa a na rata batho ka teng sa ntlha re ntse re lemogile gore batho ba sokola batho ba ntse ba kena ka bontsi mo morago na transport ya go tloga mo kwa go pene kapa wherever so o ile a nkuka Bobby a re manti a re go le taxi association ere ka nnete re bile ra ya taxi association ra bua le bona ba e utlwisisa kgang ya rona ra lwa gore go fetse gore gona no setse gona le movement o montsi what never was is now there because of the efforts tsa Bobby le nna and before ke lebala ke ne ke re ke a gana mabane gore ke tlo bua ba le o sema go ba bantse tsa o tlo tlhamo TV nna go e tlhokela chance so people are very honored to have space out go bua mo pele ga setšhaba se se ka ya bona la ira long distance mara lona la ira long distance or the social distance long distance okay anka for Bobby ntse le motho a lerato ska wa mo khoma go borong una le ka bona una ta puta no yeah ansa le lerato ya fela tsona tse ntse no ka re ke maka o le la rotike tsotsi ke ntwe ke ka magazana o tla go ntse ka thi mara wena se tsana tipo to bo kolla di tswana ka po aro mona wa ntha ba tsa tsile le mbeke mo tshwara rona le tsokolela ba ka re tshwara thata a re a ka le gore ke le tshwere ka re tshwara ka ba ka nna molla thipa e le ka etsa irile ke tso etsa ke be ka mo le tsogala mo ke mo le bisa a azanga go go motho Bobby yeah he had a good sense of humor you know that hora ka go kenela thata japi ya ka bua yena dilo tsile dintsi ka Bobby mara fela ke le go gore lerato la ka le Bobby as community workers a tlogela legacy le keletseng fela. We are still carrying on. We used to stand up for quite a lot of things. Anything that was wrong, we used to stand up to go. And that thing has carried on. Most of my neighborhood, certainly neighborhood watch, you know, really community-based operations. And those are things still resided in the body without really any sort of support. So we are carrying on. The love is still there. As the education, we need to be educated. And education is so we pursue that to better our lives. And it's through education that we really will be able to achieve most of the what I'm going to achieve. You know, and yes, we spoke of quite a lot of elements, both charity, both in all of those things. Everything starts with one person, one idea, and you take that idea, you liken it to somebody else. And from there, the whole thing grows. And I didn't know the movement was finally permit. You know, it will be a blessing. As programmer on the envelope, because we are planning to put up an institution in various things. So your knowledge will really be appreciated. I don't know for an certificate, discount.
A round of applause from that side. Thank you so much, neighbor. And thank you for watering those holes. Thank you for watering those holes. We can feel your energy and the connection that you still have with him. He has never left you. He is still within you and watering those holes. You know, thank you. And we feel the love. When you're saying that the love is still there, it is within us. And by being here, we are here to express it to its fullest and giving gratitude to his life as we are unveiling his tombstone. Now it's time to pay tribute here by Mkhulu Pugujwe. And this is your time now, Mkhulu. Wherever you are, please make your way. Let's give him or give her a song. It's a family. All right. The family, we are waiting for you.
And kana ko yena le santsa le ile lekao go tsena ga gage mo botshelong jwa me o ile a bona phatla ka gonne ka nako ne setse ke sena batsadi a bona phatla ya go tlhoka batsadi e ntse le lekang jalo a itsenya mo ditlhakong tseo a thiba phatla e ya go tlhoka botsadi and ha ke re yalo o ile a ntsa o bobobi a nkitsisi mme wa gage e le gore ne re mmitsa mme a nkamogela ka matsogo a borito and ka nako mme o bobobi le ena o na le diphuru tsa gage le bona ba nkamogela jaaka ngwana wa bona gore sa ntlha ha ntsa yalo o ile a ntsa o ka tla re yalo ke tsena jaaka letlaleanya ha e le gore la tlhaloganya letlaleanyana ke gore mme a tla le ngwana a nyala a tla le ngwana mara a ntsa ka kena mo lelapeng la Ga-Semenya jaaka letlaleanya itse ke kena mo lelapeng la Ga-Semenya mme a nkabogetse ke dipuru tsa ga Old Bobby bona ba mphetola bofejana mo lelapeng leo and ka go rialo ke rata leboga o botsa matladi mo leng teng ke a go leboga o bojapi ke a leboga chiki ke a leboga ka ba le pontse lerato le le gore ke tlile fela ke le semang fela ke kene mo gare lapa la sebele mara la ntsa la nketsa bofejana mo gare lapa le ha ke nne e le gore tsala ena o botsa ka nako eo ne ke le botlana fela a nthuta bokgarebe ka gola a mpontsha tsa botshelo o le ngwanyana o kena mo bokgarebeng ha nako e ntse ya Old Bobby a ikagela motse wa gage o tsa a kgamoga motse wa gage a ntsa lo dula le bona ka fetoga gape jaanong ha ke sa di jaanong bofejana ka fetoga letsibulo la gage kore ke tsamaile ke fetoga ba gaetso ka re bofejana ha e santse le ke re ke bofejana ke le letlaleana ka re bofejana ke re gore ke nna o ke letsibulo and ha ke re ke letsibulo o na ipela thata ka nna ka bone mo ditsaleng tsa gae nne le fela ha mpona a ke tsamadiene gore ke molata ko tulong e le ya bone ya ka moagisane a bule gore le bana le plekenyana tsa bona mo ba itapolosang teng ha ke molata nna nkitsise mo ditsaleng a re bona ke letsibulo la me go go bontsha fela gore ka nnete o na ipela thata ka nna and ka se ke a leboga botlhe ba Semenya ba bantsi ke a bona ba makala gore mare mme wa ntse a kena tsena mo lelapeng go sa gale gore be ke rata fela go lefatlhola gore ke tsene ya mo lelapeng la Ga-Semenya le mpona ke eme yana ke a mo leboga le mare wetseng teng ha setse ke feleletsa kgang ya me ke re fela moya wa gagwe o rabola ka bosafitlhile o mpontshitse lerato le le gore ha ke le bona ke re ke re le boteng le bothito ke itebogela
A round of applause for Nsingiza. That is the family for Bourgeois. Do we only have one member that is going to speak? Family? Is there anyone who wants to speak on behalf of the family? Or else we can move on. All right. Thank you so much. DJ, I believe there's a DJ for us. Just give us one song.
Dr. Spirit.
Yes, I'm back again. This time I'm not going to welcome. I believe you are comfortable. Now I'm speaking here as a sibling. You are Kelatela. Kitamora high. Mkhulu day, good morning. Maybe you're somewhere. Omo day, you're Maluzi, but Marba shy. They are so shy. So we got to offer my younger brother or Ave Maharina because I welcome, then he will come in. Kitamukwa.
Travel our eyes. a very shy person. Today, because none of them feel tasking and I didn't prepare anything. They are one camera, always about one camera. I know it's not right. Okay, as a sibling, there's something feeling I can't show you. Nerele scattered or nerele khasahan. So now neke hola neke tseba ke le mfana ke diwa khanti ke ne go theater. He was the first one of Fika Middlelands. Hey! Galaga was to make out about Kanako Middlelands High. You clear data for one Middlelands High. Hey, young Nagigo Primary. Hey, Telling Taikan and Kamba. Yo, Dimano Tafa. Diman. Then, why am so good? What about Rita Mara, Nsingiza, Sebaka, and I had a few people by show you. None of the but how no someone can find no some because none of the guy, Kalutula Pudida doing something, but Nahar Nalabat or Novatu. Marlamono Chiku, Chiku. I'm not about to understand that name could be some Kumara, and you can understand why it all. But I'm waking a care rather than around this Sekimania. Now that joke. Now that joke too much. When I didn't get out of time, I ring Nsiki Boza. A house like Boza. You see, it can irritate and it can irritate. And the way we irritate, I'm going to feel wrong, irritate, and they are not. Like all about the I didn't see it was something again. It started from this angle. Okay, one guy now when it got this direction. Oh, busy around the real attack, a real thing. So, so now I can among which I cannot talk because I won't come in seriously. Nagarata prepared, I will keep it prepared. Please, no.
Yeah, what happened? Me, Nabunya John, because you know, when I speak of my brother, yeah, Bobby in a who you know, he had that touch of love. Rather, Bobby is. Anyway, yeah, Bobby, you know, he had love. Nah, the ridiculous too. Yeah, I was snagging about it. I was a fighter. I was a gun carrier. I was a murderer. But I want to tell you honest truth. But my brother was there. I can strong go, he'll come there. Bobby had love. You know, even in the Bible they say the foundation or the fundamental emotion is love. Bobby didn't care whether you had money or you never had money. That's my brother. And I remember Bobby took great responsibility at a very young age. Because Mkhulu, yeah, she never had parents. Bobby had to become a parent of that particular family. You know, I remember one time my brother had two sons. They were operas. he will applause you all the time. That is my brother. So I want to say to Banabahai, this remarkable memorial should stay in your hearts. As they speak of the Spirit, let the Spirit of Bobby be in your hearts. Be part of you, you know. And then you inherit that heritage. Let's speak of heritage. We should have the heritage of our parents. It's true. That we should, because they are our progenitors.
Yeah.
You know? So people don't know their genome. They don't know where they come from. They don't know their genome. But most of them, still, there is a lot of contradiction. If you're an African, be an African. Don't become an African at the same time become westernized.
Yes.
You know, so Africa. But let me say the dress code does not show that he's an African. The behavior doesn't show that she's an African or he's an African. If you're an African, be an African. If you belong to the equatorial area, stay on the equator, no matter how hot it is. My brother spoke of melanin here. Hey, let me give you. And I'm so thankful for our MC here. You are so gifted. She's gifted. To me, she's a challenger. Then I'm an MC like that. So one challenger, I look at category of I want to see a guy. I thank you so much because the setup today is a different setup. Oh yeah. As this is a different setup. Yeah. No, kill the neighbor. And then we are going to learn from you. My MC, thank you very much.
Round of applause for I love it when you're really expressing what we are feeling right now. The love of Bogu.
Yes.
It is still within us, and we are feeling it. That is the legacy he left within us.
Yes.
All we need to do, as he said, let's open our hearts. Let's feel his presence because he never left. Only the physical that lives. Thank you so much. He said he's a family man. Oh yes, we've been coming to this home. We felt the warmth. With no doubt he is a family man. And yes, we remember. Every time we are thinking of his words, we feel the touch of his love. And now on the program, we're going to be the tribute by children. Bana Babobi.
ha ke bua ke tla be ke buela le ditlogolwana tsa gae tse e leng mo who are also quite young. But it's truly an honor to speak about my father, and I don't think there'll ever be time or ever be words that can really sum up the man he was. Papa was a very honest man. He spoke truth to life. And I remember growing up, Papa never believed in lying to children. He never believed in limiting knowledge because motho. So from a very young age, he would tell me everything. I'm telling you, from the birds to the bees, reproduction, he never hid it. So I walked around knowing very well about the dangers of this world, but also the beauty of the world as well. Many have spoken about Papa being an incredibly loving person. He was. Papa was a nourisher by nature. Everywhere he went, he wanted to make sure people were fulfilled, they were happy, they were full. And the best way he would do it is cooking. Papa was a great cook. All the time, if you are not eating, something's wrong. And it became a habit and a ritual that I had grown accustomed to. When I come home, I know Papa's got the menu on set. So I'm like, today, what's on the menu, Papa? And those are the small treasures that many, I realized, did not have growing up with their fathers. Papa was also incredibly funny. He was a huge jokester. We would not live a day without the pranks. You were never safe. Nobody was safe. Papa made fun of us with all our insecurities, from our big foreheads to our large lips and your nose, so that when you walked out this gate, you are 100% sure of who you were. No one else could tell you, because Papa right. So, you know, there's so much I can say about Papa. I miss him every day. There's so many things that have happened in my life that I really wish he was part of to see. Because I know, one thing, he would be making the loudest noise. Because that's who he was. He stood tall for all his children. I remember in primary school, I did everything. I stayed foot sports, everything. I was a very busy child. And at every event, Papa Nengena Akholetang, Kaka, cough, he had a very loud cough. I was like, my dad is here. You see? And it really made my childhood incredibly beautiful. It made my childhood loving, eventful, and I can honestly say, and everything that a child deserves. And that's because Papa was there the whole way, every step of the way. So, at the final closing of his passing and the commemoration of his life, because there were a lot of tears, and I think now is the best time for us to really celebrate his life and laugh about who he was and the things he did and the life he lived and the love he gave. I think that's it. I think my time might be up.
Thank you, the program director. Mkhulu. You can't beat them, join them. Hey, then now come on now. I'm not going to put it like here. I only come up with or give Kahiso Pukuje. Pukujo Tsinam, you're the test again. Naki Mubina Kubu, there are Kubu and Samaru Tarabo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to express my gratitude to everyone for a number of things, particularly for adhering to the regulations we are living with. Ours is a very difficult one. I think no one who has ever lived on this planet Earth has ever experienced this incredible challenge we are facing. But one day we will overcome. Also, let me thank God for giving us this time and opportunity to celebrate and our dead today, the Daddy Mac, as we used to call him, the Khali. He is sorely missed. We missed him so much, immensely. And the departure of the Daddy Mac, it was not easy because it was sudden. And even that time, I couldn't even contemplate Mama more especially for Rafilaya, and even Mama Montlu, you don't know to say Mama sorry or what, but being a mother, but even today, it's like a show of Mama, the wrinkles, Mama, that's the sadness, because today we are celebrating. A joy. We are rejoicing today, Mom. And, the Daddy Mac. Papa was an epitome in the family. Papa was here, then, everywhere. Papa was a builder at the family. Even if we can retrieve even the register, Papa was always present. Whether he stayed Tiko Kai, Papa was always present. That's how we appreciate Papa, And like I said about video of fitting, Rawani Chapu Hore. Papa is not jealous. And Papa always, what is best for one of us. Papa uputile lilapa, la runa both the maternal and the paternal. And Papa welcomed everyone as Panavaha. Kidego, you preempted what I wanted to say anyway about Papa, the jokes at the coughing or so. Because Papa, but I cricket jokes at say Halivale, a hot rod. Go the street of Alexandra. From corner to corner, the street of Alexandra, and it was fun, because the joy in the that's why he was a best cook. We'll go and some advices there and there. He will rub it off on for anyone. Father. One day, before Nyan, you must come say your bank balance. That's when you get over so Korea ready. That's what you do. So because of my bank balance, I think I want some mama. We really missed him, Papa. We really missed him. There's a lot that's in between, and even today we are better today than yesterday. We are better today than yesterday. So let me thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and let me give others a chance. Thank you.
That was my pickup point of my father. I want to hater. But normally, but when people are in SK, SK, I'm known for that. Then oh, because wow, right? I'm Tata Le, this booking. Tata, now we get low. Oh, in my firstborn, the Khosikadi. Then this one, this is little boy here, the Khositsile. Yeah, so we are the next generation of Prabobi. That's why I'm here sitting. Yeah, and Mkhulu. Ngicela ukuthi ngihloniphe baba. Ngicela ukuhlonipha kakhulu. Ukuhlonipha kakhulu for isifundiso sinika abantu. Ngicela ukuhlonipha nabaphathi bonke ohamba nabo. Ngiyahlonipha kakhulu. Alright. Yazi mina mangikhula mina. Ngeke ngafunda ngalento ye-ancient Egypt ne ukuthi isho ukuthini kodwa ngiyayibona ukuthi kahle kahle lengiyifundile akusiyini lokufaka namhlanje uyabona it was a bit shallow uyabona and I appreciate that so much, you know, and the reason why I'm saying that to the people who are seated here is you know, I from what I'm about to do, I don't want anyone to feel disrespected. I don't want you to feel like I'm disrespecting anyone. All right, from my side, all right. That's why I wanted to start to say I appreciate what you have given us today. All right. So ngicela angibulisa mina ngiphakamisa igama lika Jesu. Yabona phakamisa igama lika Jesu nithi yini ngiyanibulisa ngegama lika Jesu. And ngithi le gama lina mang khothama phansi ngithandaza kulo. And yazi namhlanje ngifuna ukubonga ukuthi sikhona la sonke sabantu abamnyama. Right? Ukuthi sifundisane imfundiso namhlanje ukuthi yazi ukhona okunye sifundisana ngakho. Yayibona. So kathi la ke batla hore kiri wa tsaba ntato wa ka o na le lerato le le makatsang. But what people don't realize about that love was it was a love of peace. Ntato wa ka o na le theory ha motho a ntse ntwe mpe o tla re ko wena yes o ntse ntwe mpe ne it doesn't matter, still love that person. Right? Forgive that person and continue loving motho o skaba ukuthatha move forgive umurate. Many people will say forgive, right, but not forget what this person has done to you. My dad will say, hey, you have no right. Forget what this person and give them the benefit of the doubt. That was the most amazing thing that my dad taught me. When Prabobi was just, she was a superhuman. It's like anyway, in an exciting whereby Motu. Now just a right? How much of a problem of it? Or calling Mamma of it, right? He also on me work. Right? But my dad took Mamma of one hand. How about you soup hair? Onari, Sky. How are now she? Motomu people was strategy. Ona. We learn push original. And Yeah, what's okay? Like,
Yeah.
It is too much. Now, I want to say another thing which my dad also taught me. Unarikona, mfanaka, tlapo blame. Ona pelo ya hao. No. Ona pelo ya hao. La ko kana wa rapela ka mo khotla rapela ka teng. Ba pelo ya hao is pure. How na mo ya teng. Arikona, it doesn't matter khoroma ar pelo. Pelo. Ke yona e tla bontshang batho wena o mang. And I would like to thank God for the life of Chaimalaka, because, amen. Chaimalaka is too much. He's too much. Who want to know what once I visited it? You miss his Zulu cross. I got a sort of not to Chaimalaka is too much. Right? Or one of these occasions, now, my last fact about my father. Here it is. You know my dad would say to me, hey, one day when I'm gone and you do an event of this nature and people say, who was your dad? I'm going to say my dad was this and this and this and this. You know what he said to me? He said, the most important thing to say is, I was your father. That's it. That's it. He said, tell them that the most important thing is I was your father. Not that they are not happy. Alright, go kidney. Don't go back to the text. What was funny? How do I get a thank you? What's on the ring? I was going to thank you. It's my responsibility. That was my father. Bless you. Thank you so much.
Mkhulu. Nna ka lebitso ke Ga-Semenya lefoko la mofu. Lebitso ile ke filweng ke nkgono wa ka. Mme Miriam Re-Membrance o setseng ntate wa ka ra tshwanela nyese. Dina le lebaka ba ka not why we are here. Ke rata ho leboha badimo ba sebaka. Ke rata ho leboha bakgalaka bo Sipinaga ba tsamayang ka theko ya mafana dibidu. Ke rata ho leboha Matebela a lwanang ntwa ya Matebela au. Ke rata ho leboha makgalaka a nang le lerato. Ke bua ka mokgalaka ntate wa ka ra tshwanela Nsingiza. Ke bua ka ntate wa ka o re fileng sekgaile. Sekgaile o mmakaditseng ha bua mantswe a buang ka teng. Sekgaile ka ikgantsha ka wena wena go o itse dilo sometimes ha o le mo mosebetsing o tswa. There are things that happen without planning. And it's highly, honestly, this is the first time we are Mkhulu. So money, Mkhulu, we are not here to fight. We are here to remember Moya one Tatuaruna. Utatuaruna onkile mpilo ya hae. Ai khaukhanya go tshwa le tlhogo ya tsiye. Mo kineile mo kagiso ka joko re kopane re le bana ba hae go tshwana le this continent of ours, and hopefully modimo tla utlwa dithapelo tsa rona that we become a continent without borders.
Yes.
Without borders.
Yes.
We may have different fathers, but we are of Bana ba Mkhulu le Ananias Ratwana.
No doubt about it.
The minute we start seeing borders amongst each other, will be like the current status of this continent.
Yes.
That is my father. My father may not have PhDs and all of those things, which is another story for another day. Mkhulu is a topic for another day. But he had so much love, so much connection. He had so much connection with the love he had for his brothers and sisters. For me, because it allows me to continue where he left off. He teaches me to respect you as my neighbor. Yes. As my dad taught me. The way ba behave. If my dad did not talk to you, I would not be talking to you today. If Papa did not love Rawan Jabi, Rawan Shiki, Rawan Opa, Rawan James, and respect them and love them the way he did, I would not love and respect you the way he did. So I'm walking in his footsteps because he took the courage to walk a path which is rarely walked by many people. Today, through us, Banabahai, Limmewak. Did you see how beautiful my mom is? So, you know, Mama and Papa, they were so different, North and South Pole. But when it came to their children and their future and the generation and beliefs, what they did for us, at least the minimum they could give us, is at least sponge off as much information as you can and then make your own decision. They did not take a spoon. They gave us that hunger. They gave us that push. Stop being told what to do. From my workplace and where I come from school, I'm not a yes person. I've been a problem in church Papa for a really long time. But that attitude allowed me to ask the right questions that made things, you know, so concrete for our people that they could not question. Sometimes, even coming to such an occasion, it feels like you're a foreigner. It feels like it's wrong. But Papa, because he was a brave person and he believed, no matter what anybody thought of him, he did what he believed in because he knew this day will come. Do not misunderstand me. I believed in what I believed in. Respect me for that. Allow me to be me. Allow me to be me. Because when I was brought onto, I had a purpose and I had time. This knowledge from Mkhulu. The oldest thing that lives, this is my closest statement, and this is what everybody should take away from this event. I am asking with so much humility that we take this home. The oldest thing that has ever existed in this thing called earth and everything beyond earth is time. How you spend your time matters. Because in Tatuaga, if he did not spend the time that he was given, we would not be saying the things that he was. We would not understand why he walked the path that he walked. We would not understand the character that he was. He spent his time effectively, and that is why today Rokonomo Tamafai. Sesotho Habe, time has two meanings. Sebaka, which is place, and also Sebaka, which is time. So where you spend your time and where physical in the environment matters. It describes you. And that's why it's important for any type of animal. If it's in a wrong habitat, it will not survive. So be careful how you spend your time and where you spend it. Because how old am I? We are left to go and analyze where you spend your time and where, so that we are able to understand who you are, inside and out. So that's my mantra. Now, time is everything. Time is everything. It's the oldest thing that ever existed. Time. So I don't want to say that I'm very happy. I am so thankful. Ke lebogile bagolo ba bo robetseng, ke lebogile ba setseng ba phela. I am thankful that I still have a family. Doesn't matter what I have, but I am thankful. And I am happy that my dad is the reason why we are meeting today. A tombstone is a remembrance. A tombstone talks about an infrastructure that will make you always remember who this person was, how he spent his time, and where he spent his time. Then the kids, I'm not going to allow them to speak for now, but this one I must talk to about this little girl of mine. Papa, I must, he's very angry with me because sometimes I get lazy. Like they said, he was a cook. He hated Hagi Mirza noodles. You cannot believe that food after going how I go pekala corn, lip papa and tapule. There's something wrong with you. There's something you know, right? There's something really wrong with you. So about how you cook and how you cook and how you present your food. Everything. So this child of mine, that's what I need to teach her. That food is not just food, it describes everything. And he named her Mukhokani. And Mukhokani means that one who spoke upon Sambato. Which defines everything that everybody said. Unity, Mkhulu unity, not knowing the depth of what he named his first grandchild, Mukhokani. They unified.
A round of applause. I love that. Alright. I'm looking at the time. We're almost there. We're almost there. So guys, it is your time now. Yes. While you are coming, let's play the slide. Yes. While Mama is making the way. And the guys. Yes. It's playing now.
On the 23rd of January 2015, we buried Bobby. I could not talk or speak about him as I was mourning. So today, I am truly honored to talk about my husband and really tell you who he was and what we were through my eyes. You heard everybody else speak at his funeral about their lived experiences with him. There was a lot of tears because we really felt that but actually there was a lot that he gave us. Dumelang bagaetsho. Sanibonani. Ke a leboga motshwaro marapo gore o mphe tšhono e ya gore ke bue ka my late husband. Setswana se re ga go mokgoro o sa neleng. It means every household has its own problems. Only the husband and wife can identify their problems and find solutions to close the gaps in their marriage. This is evident because we managed to keep our promise to one another. To me, Bobby was like a baobab tree. Let me tell you why. The height of a baobab tree can only be measured once it has fallen. It stands for many years as a wonder to the world, providing shade and comfort to men and animals alike without any acknowledgement and boldness. Only when it has fallen and it has been uprooted do we see how truly large it is. This was my husband. I met Bobby in 1976, a year after my father passed away. It was after our participation in the June 16th uprising. After these uprisings, schools were shut down for the rest of the year. Throughout this shutdown, with lots of time on our hands, many of us took part in extracurricular activities. Many of these were of the dramatic arts and brought life to a member of caste around Soweto. Bobby and I were both part of a production called Forgive Me. Sputnik knows about it. This is when he began courting me. He would buy me Russian and chips and half white. At that time, it was a 5-star meal. With time, I fell for his charming ways, and he officially became my boyfriend. 6 months later, in February 1977, my mother passed on. This was an of my siblings and I. In the same year, I joined Midlands High School, where Bobby also attended school. This is where our relationship continued to grow. At that time, orphans were seen as liabilities and we were treated as outcasts. But Bobby saw me and treated me as a beautiful being, and he continued to love me. My husband was a pauper. After a few months, I was forced to leave school and go seek employment because I had younger siblings to take care of and rent to pay. During the apartheid days, the law had stated that orphans were to be moved out of their rightful homes because they were too young to afford the rental payments. They would kick you out and you would have to figure out where you would live. As orphans, we were in the risk of losing our home. But Bobby made sure that didn't happen. He took my siblings and I to meet up with a friend of his, Brajoste, who worked in the municipal offices at the time. Brajoste then informed my siblings and I on everything that we needed to say and do when the apartheid officers came knocking at our door. Had Bobby not intervened and reached out to Brajoste, we wouldn't have a place called home. My husband was a pauper. After welcoming my eldest daughter, Mkhulu, in 1991, a year after, in 1982, Bobby decided it was now time for me to go back to school and complete my matric. And in the same year, Bobby married me on the 10th of August, 1982. Lebohang is my youngest sibling. And during this time, I was her everything. I was a guardian, big sister, and mother figure. Bobby knew this and he respected this. So when I became his wife, he in turn became her guardian, her brother, and a father figure. Again, my husband was a pauper. After completing my matric, I began working at Standard Bank. During this time, I shared my dreams and ambitions with my husband. I told him how I dreamed of studying further and becoming a qualified professional. In 1984, I fell pregnant with our second child, Sekhaile. In the same year, I lost my younger brother in a fatal hit-and-run accident. And Bobby was the first one on the scene. I was heavily pregnant at the time, and he made sure that all the funeral proceedings took place in a dignified manner. In 1985, I gave birth to Sekhaile, and shortly after, Bobby became committed in helping me to achieve my dreams and study further. He assisted with the children when I needed to stay up and study and write exams. And he was supportive in every way possible. During my studies, my husband and I lived in a flat in 6th Avenue, Alexander. We worked hard to make ends meet and raise our children together. My youngest sibling, Lebohang, completed her teaching degree and got a job in Mpumalanga. Shortly after this, she fell pregnant and gave birth to Kineli, who many of you know as our last born. When Lebu fell pregnant, she was still living with us in Alexander, and it was a home. And with the harsh realities of employment and maternity leave conditions at the time, Lebu had no choice but to leave Kinelo in the hands of Bobby and I. We raised her from birth to the amazing young lady she is today. As we continue to raise our children as a family, I lost two of my other siblings. Their children were now also left as orphans as they had nowhere to go. Bobby opened up his home to all of them, including Garisho, who you see here today. We were not wealthy. We did not have much. But Bobby would never let a child go to bed hungry. We would share the little that we had. As a qualified professional, I worked hard throughout the years and was finally appointed as a school principal. Upon my appointment, I was not well received by some members of the local community and some of the staff members, as politics were in play. They would picket outside the school gates and continuously threatened my life. Bobby saw that my life was in danger and made sure that he accompanied me to work every day for weeks. On one particular day, he took a walk to the local spaza shop, not too far from the school, and oddly enough, the owner knew who he was. He said, "You are Ga-Semenya from Alexander, the brother of Ga-Semenya." Bobby mentioned to the owner that I am his wife and that all those picketing and causing trouble were playing with fire. Word spread quickly, and one of my staff members who lived in the community came forth and told me that I was married to a Nsingiza from Alexander, and disturbance stopped. My husband saved my life. I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, the height of a baobab tree can only be measured once it has fallen. It stands for many years as a wonder to the world, providing shade and comfort to men and animals alike without any acknowledgement of its true strength and boldness. Only when it has fallen and it has been uprooted do we see how truly large it is. Bobby and I enjoyed many things together. Sports was a shared passion of us. We used to love going to live cricket matches and golf tournaments. We enjoyed tennis and the athletics. We would always anticipate who was going to break their world records. Bobby and I traveled a lot, and although he hated flying, he always made sure that the first thing that he got once he boarded any flight was to take a tot of whiskey to calm his nerves. When at home, we enjoyed watching traffic and Discovery channels. It was pointless trying to watch movies or going to the cinema with him because he would always fall asleep. Bobby and I lived a blessed life until his last day. We raised beautiful children together and were further blessed with grandchildren. He was an incredible human being. His spirit was bold and would brighten up any room. My husband was a baobab, and when he passed, we felt the greatness that has fallen. Lapa lengwe le lengwe le na le mathata a yona. Se se botlhokwa ke gore go tsaya monna le mosadi go thiba diphatlha tse di dirang gore mogoro o nne. Ga go tseye motho wa boraro, gonne motho wa boraro gantsi ga a tswa le diphatlha wa di bula. Ke itumela thata ka gonne nna le mogatsaka Bobby go bofelong go tsere nna le ene go tswalela diphatlha. Ke ka moo nna le ene re kgaogantsweng ke lefu. Ke a leboga.
Oh,
Thanks.
Guys, that was a round of applause. That was a round of applause. Thank you so much for being so beautiful today. And to honor Isandla Sakho, we felt the presence. As you really expressed yourself, the connection, it never dies, but it grows. And thank you. He's very proud of you. And he felt you. He's always within you. This is an expression of the unity and the legacy that he created. And we are here to honor that. Now we have reached now the 10th item. I know the time is behind us, but Mkhulu with Nsingiza. This is again what Ubabu Bobi wants. Utisiphahle sonke kulamagceke alapha Ga-Semenya at 12 o'clock. And then we'll go to the cemetery after 12. So now our next guest, it is, who is representing the elders, but why Ga-Semenya. It is an honor and it's such a privilege, also Peter, that I'm introducing you to this podium. It is your time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dumelang bahaichu. Lukai bahaichu. Minjani bahiki. You know, it's really so wonderful. Ukubona ukuthi uBobi wayethanda kangaka. Noma sekubanda kanje. Hayi. But before ngiqhubeka ngalokho ufuna ukukusho. Ngifuna ukubonga nje uSisi Wendy. Sisi Wendy, you're okay.
I'm okay.
You know, you're okay. Yeah. And then, futhi kakhulu ngifuna ukubonga Mtatesha one. Mtatesha one. It's all right. No. Abantu bafana nawe bayabalwa. Yeah, bayabalwa. And wibambe kanjalo ngoba isipho lesi. Yeah, it's not everybody who penetrates kangako ngomqondo. And then to everybody, ladies and gentlemen, okay, boom, belly, tate, ditogolo, bo malome, bo rangwane, bo rakgadi, kare dumelang, ke thaba gagolo gore le teng le tlo re felegetse. Jaanong nna ge ke tshwanetse ke kwale mosebetsi o ka bane ke nna tlhogo ya lapa la ka Ga-Semenya. Ke last born ya ntatago Bobi, or last born ya kwabo ntatago Bobi. My brother was the first born, and his children ke Bobi, ke Samatadi, ke Oupa, ke Chiki, ke Uga. Oh, yeah, ke Japi. Babo Kiba, these are my brother's sons. Yeah, 6 of them. And my brother, he nearly matched my father. My father had 6 boys and 1 girl. Yeah, I think there is 1 girl. So my brother actually was exactly like his father. 6 boys, 1 girl. So Minaga, I'm the last of the boys. And then Bahambile Bonke Manje was it in Kennadia non Toya Ga-Semenya. But you know, what's really important and what I really feel also is that hanging and see in the Mkhulu Sakai Ga-Semenya. Somebody do tell us we are Sakai Ga-Semenya. Even my son, I gave him the same name. I gave was kind and nobody would clever. The same name. But I have to go back to my grandfather. My grandmother, you know, because my grandmother is the one who really told me more about the Semenyas, about Uti, my father's mother. Because by the time when I'm feeling suddenly my grandfather had gone, but my grandmother was still there. And then there's my father. And then Bubaba Mkhulu. He was a very independent soul, very independent. But then Washona, when I was still young, Hasana no mama. My mama was a fantastic woman. I am what I am Namkan because of that woman. There are not many people will believe that. She taught me everything. Even though we are at bank, Maupete 10 rand wanak, star 9 or 8 we save. Ukampawa ja whatever kaya at 2 rand. Skaja 8 rand or save at 2 rand. She was really the pillar in my life. So. Now, coming to the family, like I said, my grandfather and my father and my grandmother, both of them, on my father's side and my mother's side. I'm happy we have this opportunity actually, it's really a beautiful thing because Bobby, you know, Bobby, what is happening, Manje? It's like it was preordained. Because Bobby was a very curious guy. And you could debate nobody something. And he used to love me because I've got a library. I know Mama. I was like, you know, the library, I've got a fight. All the years that I've been outside, I was collecting books on knowledge, because when we were growing up, you know, there was a narrative, we were taught a different thing about history, the history of Africa, but also about religion. You know, the philosophy was Western and everything was about the colony. The colonizer, you know, gave us education, and you know, if the colonizer gives you education, there's something wrong with that education. And there was a lot of it which is wrong. And learn to You know, abantu bakithi, they really had this because when I was outside, that's when I really found out who I am. I mean, truly, truly, truly. Because, but I was fortunate because, you know, I grew up in a house of people who were really independent. Lavandwana, they are not unique. They take it from the family. Yeah, they are not unique. They may think by unique, but I know because the people who raised me were very independent, and Umama did not tolerate anything. And I saw this inner woman who stood up in my pool, you know. And so my Uchapi, by gangster, it's not because my mother was a gangster by father. It's independence. Because of gangster, Alex Buza, if you are not, you don't stand up, also to got taken for granted. Or was a kutuza every day, but the children. So you understand the job. But you couldn't Anyway, you know, it's a long story, and but like I said, the reason ukuthi uMkhulu no Khalekule bayenze lo msebenzi the way bayenze ngakhona, and balimele or little libuele bathi because bobina leya narato buwa go Egypt, you know, Kemet, I mean, go Ethiopia and so on. And it's just a pity you go humble before he met you, you know, because really you were going to love him. He was a wonderful guy. You know, he used to challenge me a lot, and he used to ask me all kinds of questions. Must say, in the library, he would go on and on and on. And he had a questioning mind. He never just accepted things. If you told him what he learned, then he would argue with you again and again and again. But if you were not a patient person, you would actually get angry. But I didn't, because I knew that he was just like me. He asked questions, like I do, like my brother was, like my mother was. So, as I'm saying to everybody, it's not a coincidence. And it's not something which is out of place. Bobby would have loved it. He would have loved it, and because the lessons, as Skyler said, we have shown it, and I know my grandson, he does not show it by anybody just like that. So it's because we've impressed him about a knowledge that really he didn't know. Some of the stuff. He knows quite a bit, but some of the things that you talked about, he didn't. And I hope with everybody, don't look at these things as if it's strange. It's not strange. Tina, we were pierced. Yes. And our minds were pierced, you know, pierced by people who invaded us. We were waylaid. You know, we were surprised. Mkhulu accepted Labantu as Abantu, you know, and actually even accepted their God and their gods, you know. They didn't know you know. Yeah, no, it's the truth. And this we found out, how can let me say this. I need you know about African Americans, Black Americans, or Amanigo. We sitting Amaniga. You know, we didn't know that that was an insult. Must be called Amaniga. Must figure we found out we don't find out they are just like us, but they were brought over there as slaves. They were enslaved. They were not slaves, but also like Africa. They were enslaved. There's a difference between a slave and an enslaved person. So they were enslaved. And just to show you Uguti, Uguhamba, Ubon, you know Uguti, as much as they were there for 300 years under slavery, Uguti, they actually created a culture which is theirs, even though they were enslaved. Do you know Uguti, in their churches they don't sing Lala, Una, Sholani, Willie. They don't sing European melodies in their churches. They have created Esa, or what you call gospel music, comes from a long historic rejection of Western culture. Their language was taken away, but their heartbeat, that's African. That's African. You cannot take the African out of the African. And they're not. And do you know, I mean, I learned about the Kemet from them. From the African Americans, you know, even to this day. And it was difficult because they were completely taken away from this continent. But that African spirit, Namjan the gospel, it's because they created the gospel. They are the masters of gospel. They are the masters of jazz. They are the masters of rhythm and blues. They are the masters of the spirituals. They are the masters of knowledge about Africa. They know more about Africans than we do. They do. We were taught about Maulana Karenga. They taught us, you know, this is the our call. Because if you remember, Mount Pega, all the pictures that when I was growing up, angels were white. Yes. And the devil was black. Yes. You know? Now, if really you are a Christian, you cannot teach people like that. Yes. You have to follow what Christ was talking about, Jesus. Yeah. But Bonabazela, and they painted themselves and they are not Jesus. The picture that we see is not Jesus. Because he does not come from Germany. Jesus Christ was not a white man. He did not come from Germany. This we found out in America. Because also the conversation goes on. You know, they still argue about Christianity. Yeah? They do. Some of them, they don't accept it because you've got the Jews, you've got the Arabs, there are so many religions. But in about one religion, a religion that they control. Not that Christ did not exist, but they have appropriated Christ. But far away, and then it's a white man on the cross. Was a German? Was a Italian? You know, they've got all kinds of pictures. That's why these are the things we used to discuss with people. And also, it's very important in Africa, let's read. Let us read. Let's look for information. We can free ourselves, our mind controlled. And there is nothing wrong with that religion. There's nothing wrong in believing in Christ or in Islam or whatever you want to believe. But do not take the culture of those people. Because what they do, they push their culture through a religion. So, and why did, if you read the Bible, did Jesus Christ tell them to go and change people? Why don't they leave you with your name and just teach you the truth? As they said, they bring you the truth. No, they teach you the man so George. How's that to release people? Culture high. Okay? The same thing, Islam does the same. Yourself. You are no longer simple. So all these things, it's already training because we don't understand. You know, it's important for us. And I'm saying this because this is how we used to discuss Nobo. It's important for us to understand multi religion, go to the source of the religion. Go to the source. I mean, if Namtan Ga-Semenya, it's the source that gave me that. So Tina Sitata religion, and they don't know what they are talking about. There is one country, we are at the tail end of this continent. This continent is huge. I didn't know this continent was this huge. It takes about 11 hours from Cape Town to Egypt. It takes 11 hours from Los Angeles to London. Cutting across the United States, all over the Atlantic Ocean, it's the same distance. So you see how huge this continent is. And that is why it has so many languages, because believe me, you don't expect people in a huge continent like this to speak one language. Yeah, and we were cut off. You don't know what Ethiopia is actually the living remnant of Kemet.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
And the Ethiopians are the ones, the Somalians. If you want Egypt, Kemet, by the way, Egypt. It was named Egypt, Lama Creeks, but it's Kemet. Yeah, Meruwe. That is why we have to learn, go to the source to understand the religion. Jesus Christ was a Jew. And it's not Jesus Christ, that's not his name. If he was passing there, he said, hey, Jesus, he will not turn his head. He is a Jew. He was a Jew. He was not a Christian. Jesus Christ, Yeshua was a Jew. He practiced Judaism. And Judaism, by the way, it's not a people matter. No, it's a religion. Yeah, there are all kinds of people from China, people who are Jews. They're religious, just like there are Christians. You know, there are Chinese, there are whatnot, they are Christians. And then you've got all kinds of locals, and then the Buddhists. It's the same. So we have to understand that there are different religions. And that's one thing. And then, Zion, we didn't know Utikanti is because the Ethiopians did come here, but the real Christianity here. And Mkhulu actually killed Ethiopians who had brought the real Christianity. Ethiopia is the oldest Christian country in the world. Did you know that? Did you? You knew, yeah. It is the oldest Christian country ever. Before there was a Roman Catholic Church, there was the Church of Ethiopia. The oldest Bible, namhlanje emhlabeni, the Christianity or the Old Testament is Ethiopia. Did you know it? It's important for Nama Africa. Arabali, when I know people in school, yeah, our uncles. I'm not to say that because there are many books that talk about Christianity. Yeah, what? It's a long story, and I don't think, but I am just good to I just want to inspire you. From now on, let me go to the source, because without the source, whatever you're holding is nothing. Go to the source and learn. That's why Nitu Bobby would be very happy. Uncle, how do I do it now?
Yeah, she's gonna do Sireto, Ga-Semenya. Sireto, Ga-Semenya. Okay.
No, careful. You can hit the drums first, please. Mahune way, Matebele way. Mahune way, Matebele way. Ahe Munoko, Mutwala Bati. Pare, Munoko, oh Yabade. What man?
This is very inspiring. There's good image. I love that you compliment the flow of energy. Ngicela ukuthi abangakhothi nabasiminya baphukulwe kumele siqale manje siyimotweni ukuthi koloni yasola territory bani our road is leading now to the cemetery ko Waterfall, right? And then bana go bela bana ba e bona ba tla le maplomo ne ba wanke re tsama le maplomo to go wa fitlhisa ba go cemetery for the green year.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. I'm looking at the time. It's 2 minutes before Spahle. I just want to highlight something on Phahlo. Phahlo is when you are talking to izinyanya zakho, amagusha, ubulela. That is what it is. So Masiphahla, let's try by all means to honor who you are. How are you going to be remembered? How your family is going to know you. So Masiphahla, Siphahla, the people that are already on our astral level. What do I mean by astral? Which means they've already passed on. Mama wako, tata wako, uputi wako, all the people, and don't forget yourself. So kuphatha kukuthetha nabo, kukubanqula. So thank you so much. So Nsingiza, you've got 2 minutes so that we pass. Okay.
Aramaset, 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 Amweli, 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 Artamat, 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 Andu, 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 Amtetogas, 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 Amaat, 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 Ashu, Ashu, Arteflut, Arteflut, Anut, Anut, Ageb, Ageb, Asa, Asa, Auset, Auset, Aneptet, Aneptet, Aset, Aset, Artehut, Artehut, Amaat, Amaat, Anpu, Anpu, Asefmet, Asefmet, Amsham, Amsham, Alifat, Alifat, Aheteru, Aheteru, Ahiru, Ahiru, Ahiru.
Thank you so much.
What my brother said earlier on. I get like to a limitation of 50 people for my weekend. So the couple Re-Membrance Mkhulu Ga-Semenya, then the siblings step up, Mkhulu, and then we also would like Mkhulu Ga-Phukujwe. I think there's about 4 of them. We prioritize those people. And then Nekupa Babang Hasser Lisali. They will be streaming if I'm not mistaken. So they will be view of what is happening. What I don't want to run so Nekupa Mkhulu maybe from Great Empire of Kemet line for and then the road will exist.
I pray in faith. I pray in the honest truth. That's what I do in us. When we come to the closure of this in the name of the Lord Jesus.
So we're gonna give the program to Wendy, Great Empire of Kemet. Please, let's go according to the program. I don't think it's going to take too long because the Varifa only a few minutes. And then we have to go back home road because it's been a long morning. I know, but and it's at let me take the opportunity once more to greet you. And thank you for the respect that you've given us. I just want to explain. We call it Gap. Gap means that is the star sign in the Western world. We call it the star sign. That is the frequency you are born under. So now, how we're going to unveil this? Nsingiza is going to live in that spirit of Gap. This is where now we are aligning our souls, our hearts, everything within us with his frequency. Frequency means as you open, radio, metro, his radio, it is Gap. So that is what now is going to be this in this organization, in his culture, in this organization. So our Gap, our Gap, our Gap, our Gap, our Gap, our Gap. Yes, over to you. After that, we will have Mkhulu will also tell us about all this which is going to be on the grandchildren.
Ngicela ke senze nje umphatho kaGap. uGap umoya that he embodied uzalwe ngale season which is controlled by uGap. Yingakho le ekhaya sesathi because it's the principle of the season esikuyo. Kepha ubaba was uGap. Yingakho sizoyenza umphatho wakhe. Gap, 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 Amhlab, 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 Alifat, 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 nalikiwe. Siyakhuleka kuwe Gap Nkosi yomhlaba. Siyakhuleka kuwe Gap Nkosi yomhlaba. Wena wavela ngaphambi kwawo wonke amadlozi. Wena wavela ngaphambi
wonke amadlozi.
Amakhosi akho ahlala esihlalweni sobukhosi.
Amakhosi akho ahlala esihlalweni sobukhosi.
Emazweni amabili.
Emazweni amabili.
Ngiyavusela kuwe phambi kwetshekazi iBen-Ben.
Ngiyavusela kuwe phambi kwetshekazi iBen-Ben.
Laseyunu.
Laseyunu.
Lapho ubusa khona njengobaba wakho konke okuphilayo.
Lapho ubusa khona njengobaba wakho konke okuphilayo.
Ngiyavusela kuwe wena dlozi elikhulu.
Ngiyavusela kuwe wena dlozi elikhulu.
Eliyisibonelo kukho konke okuphilayo.
Eliyisibonelo kukho konke okuphilayo.
Wena ondla konke okuphilayo.
Wena ondla konke okuphilayo.
Wena uvumela amadlozi ukuba adle isidlo sakho.
Wena uvumela amadlozi ukuba adle isidlo sakho.
Aphinde ehlise ngesiphuzo sakho.
Aphinde ehlise ngesiphuzo sakho.
Umzimba kaGebhu umhlaba.
Umzimba kaGebhu umhlaba.
Uhlangana nesibhakabhaka sezinkanyezi.
Uhlangana nesibhakabhaka sezinkanyezi.
Wazala amakhosi namakhosikazi.
Wazala amakhosi namakhosikazi.
Abaphatha izinduku zobukhosi.
Abaphatha izinduku zobukhosi.
Iheka nenekheka.
Iheka nenekheka.
Bathwale nezixoxo zobukhosi.
Bathwale nezixoxo zobukhosi.
Labo abalalela balandele izwi likababa wabo.
Labo abalalela balandele izwi likababa wabo.
Ngesikhathi sabo.
Ngesikhathi sabo.
Amhlaba.
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 Alifat.
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 Agep.
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 Over to the elders, get to the place and then
Rangwan Kholi, Rangwan Musese. Oli, katisha mutisi.
Malo
But you guys are part of preserving history. It's for the first time I see this. My Avalon, nothing like this. But Abantu will come here and actually learn. Siyanbonga Ndlovukati.
Alright, I'm gonna lay the gift. Alright.
Mama sai Ga-Semenya. Siti mamuleti. Itheko ya matoma afikira la wa hlaba. Ekaba na ntho ya matheko. Atelele ukwe. Iraswa. Utadula ukupulwa kimala pala hao. Ili o. Yena mala pala hao. Mana yulu lile loko kamuka. Akimi kwile. Kamuka le nale aziba warere. Agere wale thalusi njengri. Ra gore. Awa robala ya pota kamundo. Agere ga yedere. Robala ta photo to. Ono ma isinyane ridizongo.
don't mess with that. Ga-Semenya, some mama.
Over to you. Okay. So I have been a happy banana base to the Mombasa. And then Are we good?
Yes,
Come, Khadi, come stand here. Come stand there. Let's do Taba. Taba, Khadi. Cheese, Khadi. Take off your mask. Cheese, Khadi. Khadi, cheese. Look here. Cheese. All right, we good? Cheese, Khadi. Oh, Madam Ariel.
Bona.
Can we fix our queen? Mama, mask. Yes.
Mask.
You're right. Okay. Church door.
Akiri mama sheba akiri. Asheba kaburi.
Mama. Camera. Mkhulu. Ubhekela.
Sharp,